Nice to be here, guys. My name is Erwin Buckers. I'm CEO and co-founder of Channels. And I will tell you a little bit how we use N8N now the last 6 months for serious, and how we serve our enterprise clients with it. So maybe you had a nice introduction from Max, how you could be a freelancer and in the creative, but you can also serve corporates maybe in a little bit bigger setting. I founded the company Channels 12 years ago. I have a background in computer science. I can't code that much anymore with my role, but I do play a lot with N8N and with my colleagues building flows. But just before we jump in about Infra and AI Agents, I will show you 30 seconds of what we're doing, because we provide a tenant app. So we work for real estate, and we provide an app for the people living and working in the building to have a nice experience. So this is a bit what our tool is doing. See a quick video. So we have an iOS and Android app and a web platform that people that live in buildings in Amsterdam, in London, Paris install, and they connect with everything in the building. So smart locks, neighbors, community events, and so on. And we do that for really big buildings across Europe. We're active in 20 countries. We have a team of 50 people in Rotterdam. So we're growing quite fast. But they have also a lot of smart technology in the building, and we need to connect that. So we made a lot of manual integrations the last years and switched everything over to N8N, N8N Enterprise. So I'm here with a few colleagues today, and we made a squad beginning of the year because I thought, okay, how are we going to start with this? Because I don't want to hire immediately people for it, and so let's see where we can go. So we selected a few from our tech team. I think 5 of them are here today, actually. So Alonso, our most senior solution engineer, Marco, full stack developer. He joined the team to do some really cool stuff that I can show you today. We have Andre, our lead designer. He is not here today. Also computer science background. Kesley is in the audience. He did the full infra. So if you have really technical questions, then I will point to Kesley. And we have Sal and myself building some flows as well. So 2 topics today. First, about infrastructure. So how we set up N8N. I tried to scale it a little bit up because I didn't know that the screen was so small and the audience so big. But what do you see here is our infrastructure that we are running on Amazon AWS. So what do you see here is that we have a few things. We have a public subnet and we have a private subnet. Within that, we have the Elastic Kubernetes services, what is amazing, by the way. And then we have a NAT gateway, so that we have like one IP externally, what makes it also extremely easy to switch workflows from environments. We have everything self-hosted. It's for us extremely flexible because we're working for some big buildings that have on-premise services that we can connect now via the VPN. So we run like some really serious legacy software, and we make it look cool again, thanks to this. And then I think I can talk really long about it, but I think if you zoom in, I think that's maybe even more interesting. Oh, by the way, it is super cool that it also heals itself. So sometimes something crashes, whatever happens. Most of the time it's even the tech of our clients, not our tech, not N8N, but just the low tech on the other end. But then everything heals again because we have redundancy in. So that is highly available. So I think that JP was saying that we need the queuing, I think. So would be great on the roadmap. If I then zoom in, so if I zoom in on this part here, the Kubernetes services, then you see how we set it up. So we have a production and we have a staging. Yeah, it's a little bit small. Maybe I can better show the next one. I zoomed it in for you. So we have a main and we have a staging, Git repository behind it. We have workers and we can scale it up really easy. And then we have internally in our office in Rotterdam, we have some community versions running just for fun and experimenting with AI and so on. Because soon we will also bring all our cool AI features to our clients. But because we have so many enterprise clients, they are also a little bit nervous with AI. So we need to make sure it's extremely safe. And the cool thing is that we can, of course, use all the wrappers and the European versions as well. So that's, I think, a really, really quick overview of our infrastructure. Yeah, there are some numbers in there, maybe a bit small, but when we are going to run our AI for our clients, we need to scale up a lot because yeah, we were serving in 20 countries, 700 buildings, 500,000 users. So when they're going to use AI for real, we have now just a few using it, then we will scale up everything. But with this setup, it is, to be honest, really easy. I asked Kesley, we were going by train, and I said, like, how long does it take to set a new thing up? He said, well, I can do it in 50 minutes, and the rest goes automatically. So we can do that in a few minutes. Are there any questions about infrastructure? Max?
Yeah, a quick question would be, with the kind of production use cases that you want to use AI for, what kind of model size are we talking about? SLMs, LMs, what, like for your real production use cases, what models are you going to be using with your end-to-end workforce?
I can show you that in a bit. I think yes. I have that in the next slide.
That was not pre-prepared.
Go ahead.
Are you elastic in cloud suppliers? Because you are talking now about AWS, but here in Holland, most of the companies are more Microsoft-minded.
Yeah.
And still, we have a very small part who are Google.
Yeah, indeed.
Driven. How is that elastic?
Yeah, I get your question. So maybe to repeat it, yeah, Microsoft versus Amazon, Google. Indeed, we see also like with other companies that Google is not that popular. They try to gain some footprint with some nice discounts. But we are on Amazon AWS for a long time. We actually moved everything 2 years ago. Of course, there are some things going on in the world that are not that good for that. But for the rest, we see that all the corporates are okay with it. It's Microsoft or Amazon, and they have all their certificates. We are certified. So we don't really see that issue. The only funny thing is that when we're talking to our client, real estate and the IT, they think that because it's Microsoft, that everything connects easier because it's all Microsoft products. Yeah. But is that answering your question?
Yeah, but how elastic is it? Because one of my biggest clients is the Koninklijke BAM.
Yeah.
A big construction company here in Holland who is working with the government as well.
Yeah.
And therefore they choose for now. For this year, it's still Microsoft-minded.
All right.
But next year, it can be somebody else. As we look at the politics.
I can imagine.
At the moment, how elastic is it that the Kubernetes infrastructure that you have is able to be hosted inside of in an other cloud supply?
Maybe my
question is more or less that in Kubernetes you have pods and you have basically a file which configures how it works. So basically it's all in Git to move it over if you want to run Kubernetes on another cloud, because it doesn't matter which cloud you run on. If you run on AWS, on Azure, on Google, it's all the same thing. You can basically do the same things on all clouds, but there are different services to support it. For example, EKS or Vibram is Kubernetes version. It's not technically 100% the same, but it's one way to do it. So if basically you have configuration files, you can just apply them to, for example, to your Google Cloud or to your Azure. It doesn't matter, but it's basically configuration of how your pods are set up. So if you want more maintenance or more workers, you just change a 0 to a 1 to a 2 or whatever, and then you scale up horizontally. To scale vertically, you can also say, hey, now give more resources to the pod. That's a bit how you scale, and you can move it quite easily. The only thing that's hard to move is data. But your data, in general, does not run inside a Kubernetes cluster. That runs outside of it.
Data is always
everything Kubernetes is easily scalable for that reason. And also we run a Fargate, so we don't manage our resource pools, we don't manage virtual machines. We just say, hey, we want one new pod, and it scales up automatically. We don't manage resource, we just manage how many we want.
Thank you very much for your answer, Kosley. So that means that
let's do that afterwards. That's also why I have Kesley here. All right. But I think as a summary, we can easily switch cloud. We're, by the way, working for almost all big cities in the Netherlands, and the government signs of our country, they are also completely fine with what we're doing. All right, to quickly switch to the last topic, AI agents. But I knew already that there were some things announced today with releasing on the N8N, so I thought I'm not going to explain today how you build agents and how you do these things, because I think many of you are maybe even further with that than us. But I just want to show a little bit with our infrastructure what we are trying to do and what we are building on top of our platform. But I think maybe to show first is that AI is super cool. We love it as well, but there are a lot of things where you don't need AI for. So that's one thing that we see a lot in the community, use AI for everything. Well, try to run it at scale. It has a price. It has some cost. So we do a lot of legacy systems. Here you see a simple flow where we map data from SFTPs and so on. You can do it with AI. Please don't do it. It's expensive. We run it so many times. So first thing, try to fix it first in a different way. But if you need AI, you can do really cool things. So that's why we will launch in Q2 Lumen AI. That will be our AI in our platform that our clients could upgrade to. So what we do is that we connected all our features and all modules to Lumen AI, what is all N8N. So we were waiting for this update earlier today to connect everything in an elegant way. But that will be everywhere. There will be like people writing a lot of content, finding things, asking things to the knowledge base, and so on. And I have a few examples to close off today. So what we're actually trying to build is we are building the self-driving car for real estate. So of course, and that's maybe also an approach how we do it. So we selected a few people in our company that are building this self-driving car, but you may have driven in a car and you know that they are not self-driving in the Netherlands, at least. Because we need to take some steps. So that's also how we are going to do it, and I recommend everyone building it. So you know, in the beginning we had to do everything ourselves. Now we have driver assistance and all the automations to get to level 5. And that's also how we define our product. Like how can we go to the self-driving car maybe within 18 months, 12 months from now. This is not our model. I always put the source in the bottom. So this is coming from another company in the Netherlands. So a little bit about our platform. So we have on the left our platform, web and app. We have a REST API with OAuth 2.0, and then we have N8N. So what we did, what Marco actually did, one of our developers, is when we start building an N8N, we thought, okay, I think everyone here loves the HTTP node and use it for everything. Well, if you use it in many workflows and sub-workflows, it's super hard to reach your flows. Of course, you can use the sticky notes, the nodes, they are amazing, but I think you prefer to write really clear flowgrams that you don't need to document too much. So what we did is we had already an open API. We translated that, we could build our own custom nodes. So we have 145 actions at the moment in our system. We gave it our nice logo. So we immediately see when it interacts with our system. Also, thanks to one of the developers in the community, because we used, it's in the bottom, Dev Like a Pro. He published something, we're in contact with him to maybe make it even better. We use that in essence, and we are also trying to help to get it better now. So if you have open API specifics, look at this, import it, you will have your own nodes. It works really good. So to give you an example, just a simple one. So what I'm going to show you is a lot of people post messages on the community, but they are really afraid that people share things that you don't want to see in your building, that they are hating each other or whatever, they're cursing and these things. So we have house rules in our community, but we can easily automate that. So what we did, just a simple flow. You see our nodes already. It's a super simple one. There's my iPhone. I recorded in the train, by the way. And I'm just writing something like, I hate you all, guys. In the community, send it to 1,000 people living in my building. It's nice. And then what we do is that we have our watchdog in our community that immediately, when it's posted, catches it and doesn't delete it immediately, because that's, we think, not the right behavior, but it's just teaching someone like, hey, don't do that again. And you see Eva, that's our bot, she replies immediately, hey, this is not okay, 3 strikes, you're out, and then we ban you from the system. So this is a super simple one, simplified one, but you see that the flow is super readable, and I think this material will be shared soon as well. Last example, Also thanks to Cole Madden, I think from the community from YouTube. He explained, I think, really well how agentic rec works. So when we started, we downloaded his tutorial, or we downloaded his template. We played around with it, and then we thought, okay, what can we do to move it to our system? So what we did is we used Stream Chat. So our developers built their own nodes on Stream Chat because it was not available yet. Soon we can publish it for the community as well. So when people are chatting in our community, they can also ask things to AI, and it goes via the vector database. We have also a local one now, but this is just a simplified one to give answers on the knowledge base. And again, it's not how you design rec or whatever. There are so many good videos about it. It's a bit more about the flow, how you can make it readable and understandable for everyone. And of course, you can easily replace everything to your needs. So this is another example that we're launching. Yeah.
Cole Medine is the builder of this.
Not this one, but I think it's always nice. I love the community, so I think we were heavily inspired by him. So I think actually now we used, just for this presentation, his example, at least this part of it. But the other things are our services that we connected. Yeah.
And does he, for the low part, has he an affiliation still, or?
In this one is not even live. This is just a concept, but that will be definitely something we're in contact. Yeah. All right. Maybe to close off, Bart asked me also some tips. So I thought after a few months, we have 5 tips, not only for me, but also for my team members. So first of all, I already said it, AI is powerful, but often overkill. Alonso, one of our solution engineers, says it. It also can be way faster if you don't need to use it. So keep that in mind when you build. I think from Casley, well, he already answered a really technical question, but you can add libraries, community nodes by building your own Docker image with the end-to-end base. That is helping us a lot. Then I think, because we have a lot of, let's say, developers not using low-code platforms, so we try to introduce the good habits that we have there also in this process, especially if you try to build something big. So we review workflows, we commit often, we clean up afterwards, we try to give it good naming and good documentation, especially because we are also hiring more people to work on this big project. Then I think what I faced myself when you're stuck, I think sometimes you, especially a few months ago, first update, because that helps a lot. And then ask the community, because it saves you a lot of time. And last but not least, if you have a really good ID, probably somebody else had an ID close to that, and it can really maybe help you a little bit with the cold start problem of building the workflow. I think we're running out a bit of time, right? So I don't know if there's some 1 or 2 questions.
Pizzas are coming up, so we are feeling a bit of time pressure.
How do you do performance monitoring and load monitoring in production?
Oh, okay. I think, Kesley, do you want to answer it again?
So currently, the of our move to Kubernetes is quite new, so we're still a little bit of figuring out that process. However, at the moment, the load is mainly just the stats of the process itself in Kubernetes that we are monitoring.
Yeah, maybe to repeat a bit, you ask about performance and how we measure it. So we do that also. We have our systems already in place for our platform. So we're now trying to move that for the NA10 clusters and so on as well. Of course, like many of you, we use Slack and all these things. We have also really nice monitoring there. We see it in our office in Rotterdam as well when things are off. The good thing is a lot of our legacy workflows with old systems are running overnight. So we get reports in the morning, early in the morning, and we also see what happened, and we don't have to do that real time. Yeah. So one last question.
Yeah, something totally different, because it's not a really technical question, but how does this work with the licensing of NA10 with all the different instances? I don't know if you have one big cluster or on-prem installations, and how does that work? Do you know that?
Yeah, well, yeah, I was in the negotiation a while ago, but the good thing is, I can imagine. Yeah, we knew that we had to close the deal soon because we already saw this coming. So I'm not going to tell about our deal, but the thing is that we are paying for the enterprise and we're paying for the workflows, and we got some advice from NA10 also because we're on the community model. Then we made for everything a workflow and a trigger and an event. And now we structure it a little bit better to also what we call in the company FinOps instead of DevOps to optimize that a little bit. But yeah, whenever necessary, we buy new enterprise workflows. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question, and I'm
Yeah.
a sucker for numbers. So, an operation on your size, how many workflow executions do you run a day?
I asked it Kesley, and he said I am not 100% sure how we can see it at the moment. So we maybe can give that answer later on in the community.
And you can, because we are building that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Ah.
Maybe we can do a quick
Alonso, you can make the calculation, and we can talk about that in the pizzas. Yeah.
All right, Erwin, thanks, man. This was
Yeah.
really, really interesting. Thanks for coming over.
Thanks.